An old ox blocked the villagers' way. It refused to let the villagers cross the bridge under any circumstances. The young man, a veterinarian, saw that his delivery order was about to expire. He got out of his vehicle and prepared to have a proper conversation with the old ox. Although he did not know whether the ox could understand him, he hoped the ox would move aside. Otherwise, no one else dared to pass this way. Unexpectedly, the old ox actually spoke. It told the young man that disaster was about to occur ahead. The young man was stunned to hear the ox speak. It turned out the ox was the mount of a celestial immortal. Having broken heavenly rules, it had been sentenced to perform 99 good deeds in the mortal realm. It had already completed 98. Now it hoped the young man could help it finish the final task, to prevent these villagers from crossing the bridge. The young man asked the ox why it would not let everyone cross. The ox explained that the bridge was about to collapse. If they crossed now, many people would surely die. Upon hearing this, the young man grew extremely anxious. He hurriedly relayed the ox's warning to the villagers, but not a single person believed him. One wealthy heir even boasted that he earned $1 million a minute, and had no time to listen to a delivery boy's nonsense. He then went back to his car and fetched a club. The young man quickly stepped in front to stop him, fearing the wealthy heir would harm the old ox. At that moment, the ox told the young man to stand aside, but the young man refused to relent. As a result, he was struck and knocked to the ground. The wealthy heir declared that the ox was not his ancestor, so he had no obligation to shield it. Although the young man received a heavy blow, he still patiently explained that the bridge ahead would soon collapse. He urged everyone to trust him. He also reminded them that animals possess sentience, and that the ox was only trying to protect them. But the wealthy heir refused to listen. He even offered $1,000 to anyone who could drive away the ox and the young man. Yet these kind-hearted villagers, after hearing the young man's words, did not choose to help the wealthy heir. Instead, they decided to trust the young man this once. The wealthy heir still refused to believe that the young man could talk to an ox. Even suspected he had placed the ox there to attract viewers to his live stream. Just as the wealthy heir raised his club to drive the ox away, the bridge ahead suddenly collapsed. Seeing this, everyone began to believe the ox had the power to foresee the future. They knelt before the divine ox and prayed for their heart's desires. But the young man remained standing where he was, because he was already very satisfied with his life. Seeing that the young man was kind-hearted and a veterinarian, the ox bestowed upon him the ability to communicate with all living things. With that, the ox vanished back to the heavens. While the others continued to worship the divine ox, the wealthy heir and his girlfriend immediately returned to their car and fled. At that moment, the young man realized his delivery order was about to time out. Suddenly, a wealthy young woman approached. She was the customer who had ordered the veterinary medicine. She said that handing her the medicine would suffice, but the young man insisted he had to deliver it to the designated location to complete the order. As he worried about how to deliver the goods quickly, a small bird flew over and told him of a shortcut. The young man was amazed that the ability granted by the divine ox truly worked. Then the wealthy young woman drove him back home. At that moment, her father was worried about the family dog, because the dog had once saved his life. He even treated the dog as a family member.